Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of Comics and Stuff. My name is Devin and I'm your host as always. Welcome. I know today is not one of my regular posting days. Obviously, I normally post on Fridays, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I post on Fridays, not normally Wednesdays, but why am I posting on a Wednesday? Well, I'm going to be away for a wedding. Not my wedding. Be nice, but nope, not my wedding. So I won't be here on Friday, hence why I am posting early today. I also missed posting last week. That is because somehow the data from my video chip that I was going to put onto my computer got corrupted, and my computer's like, nope. So unfortunately, I did not get to post last week, but that's okay because we're here now, and I'm going to talk to you about other comic book publishing companies. Blah, blah, I can't speak. Other comic book publishing companies besides the Big Four. So who are the Big Four? The Big Four are this is what they're commonly referred to. There's DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, and Image. Now, not in that particular order. They're all kind of like the same. They're kind of on a platform above all the other comic book publishing companies. You know who DC is with the Justice League and Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. Then you have Marvel with the Avengers and Captain America and Thor and Iron Man. Then you have guys like Dark Horse. Dark Horse, they do Hellboy. They also used to be known for Star Wars comics that they were publishing for the last 20 years until Disney purchased Star Wars and Marvel and took the licensing away from Dark Horse. But I love Dark Horse. They also do a lot of the Alien versus Predator stuff, or Predators, Aliens, Engineers. I love their sci-fi horror comics. Anyhow. And then Image has spawned a lot of awesome titles like Spawn, which is one of the ones that they started with, but they also have things like Saga. They have things like Chew. They had the Manhattan Project. So yeah, those are like the Big Four. They are the most well-known comic book publishing companies. Everybody knows who they are. Their sales aren't gonna go down any at all. Well, they fluctuate, but that's for another video. But those are the most well-known ones. So I want to talk about and give a highlight to comic book publishing companies that are just as big or just as awesome, but not as well known. Now, a lot of these companies that I'm going to mention you may know about, but not everybody who watches this video may. A lot of these people who may watch this video may just be getting into comics and want to know where else they can go besides Marvel and DC, where they're just given a couple options of what to read and, nothing else in between. So this is for a lot of people who may be new to the comic book industry, a lot of people who just have only ever read, comics from the Big Four and not spread out their interests a lot. So let's talk about that. First company I want to talk about is IDW. I think it's Idea DreamWorks or something like that, or Idea something, whatever. IDW is what they're called. They're known for things like Transformers and G.I. Joe, some more 80s stuff. They also have other great titles, but I love their old Transformers titles. They're great. Boom Studios is next. Boom Studios has gotten a lot of awesome publicity lately because of the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series that they released, in lieu of the movie. So they've seen great success with that. They also do Lumberjanes, which is an awesome, kid-friendly, female protagonist sort of graphic novel. And it's a great starter comic for kids. I at my old at my old job. Oh, excuse me, YouTube. At my old job, there was a group of little girls who lived a few floors above where I was working. They would come down with their parents, and they'd always talk to me about comic books. And one of them was like, "Devin, it's my birthday. What can I start reading?" And I was like, "Well, you're turning 7, so I'm not going to give you Saga." So I went to the comic shop and asked about some kid-friendly books, and they recommended Lumberjanes. And I gave it. It's really good, honestly. It's a great beginner comic. Moving on, you also have from Boom Studios, Planet of the Apes. And if anybody knows me, I love Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes is... I hold Planet of the Apes very dear to my heart, so it's an awesome series. Moving on, one of my personal favorite publishing companies is Dynamite Entertainment. So Dynamite was actually one of the first publishing companies that I discovered when I was a kid reading comic books. I dabbled a little bit with DC, never really touched Marvel, was just getting into comics, and I saw the Green Hornet. And if you know me, old pulpy, fedora and long coat with the gas gun, those types of superheroes really stick out to me. And I saw the Green Hornet, that's exactly who he was. So I picked it up and it was awesome. So Green Hornet from Dynamite is great. I haven't read it for a while just because I've started doing a lot of other stuff, but still a good series. One other really awesome title that's coming out of Dynamite right now is the new James Bond series. Amazing. It's so well done, very James Bond-like. The character is proper. Each story arc is 4 or 5 issues long. It's out of this park. It's really cool. Another series coming from Dynamite is a series called The Boys. I've never actually read The Boys. I just, all I do is I hear about it and people love it and it's really popular. It's one of their top selling like titles, but I've never read it. So if you get a chance, read it. Comment below and tell me what you think of it, because anyhow, moving on. Oni Press. Oni Press is kind of like Boom Studios in that they will oftentimes take a cartoon show or a TV series and turn it into a comic book. So they're really well known for like things like Rick and Morty and Kaiju Max. So Kaiju Max is cool. It's not a TV show or anything. It's just a comic that a guy's doing. Kaiju Max is Kaiju Monster Max Prison. So it's like a monster prison. And it's just kind of funny. It's cool. I really like Kaiju Max a lot, but the Rick and Morty stuff is fantastic. Zenescope. If you don't know who Zenescope is, well, let me tell you. Zenescope is, they basically take all those old fairy tales, think of Disney movies, like Aladdin, Peter Pan, Little Mermaid, and then they turn it into horror and sex and monsters. It's great. The one that I really liked from Zenescope was called Neverland, and there was 2 volumes of it, and it was this like weird, screwed up, twisted version where Peter Pan was the bad guy and Hook was the good guy, and like Peter Pan was stealing the life force out of children to stay alive and stay young forever in Neverland, and Tinkerbell was this like crazy, sexy, like screwed up, evil, whatever, and it was Wendy and the Hook guy, I forgot his actual name, and they had to go like it was great. So just, fair warning though, lots of sex, nudity, big boobs, all that sort of stuff. If you get offended easily by, I guess, graphic body stuff, maybe Zenescope isn't for you, but I think it's great. There's also Valiant Comics. Valiant Comics is something that you should keep an eye out for. They have announced that they are going to be doing their own run of movies, Harbinger Wars and Bloodshot or Rye, I guess, or Row, whatever. But they're most well known for Faith. Faith is an awesome new book. I haven't actually had a chance to give it a read, but it's gotten great reviews. Then they do have Bloodshot, one of the like great, one of the greats for like 90s superheroes. He's kind of like an anti-hero or something like that, and he's got this big red circle on him, and he's cool. But they're doing their whole own movie universe, or at least that's like the rumor, and I haven't researched it too much, but keep an eye on Valiant, because I have a feeling they're about to explode. And then last but not least, just one of my favorite little honorable mentions is Devil's Due Entertainment. They're very new, a few years old, and they released a series called Squarriors that was just, it like blew me out of the water. Great series. Pretty graphic and bloody. It was like, it takes place after humans apparently are like extinct and animals have gained super intelligence and have tribes and stuff, and they have squarriors, little squirrels with freaking swords and knives and attacking and killing each other. It's great. It's really cool. So you have all of these awesome publishing companies outside of the big 4 that you can, expand into. Even if you're just curious, just take a reach in there, grab a book, and, give it a read. So that's 7 more companies. Now, that's not all of them. There's tens and tens more. I mean, you have Creator's Edge, Action Lab. You have Archaea. Archaea was cool. Archaea does Mouse Guard. Mouse Guard is a classic long-running, series about a fantasy world in which mice are knights. That's really cool. And then there was Antarctic Press. There's Avatar. Avatar does God is Dead, which was written by Jonathan Hickman for the first few issues, and Jonathan Hickman's one of my favorite writers. So, again, you have all of these great publishing companies outside of the big 4 that you can, reach into and find awesome stories, great art, beautiful artwork, wonderful writing, and, never stop learning and reading, you guys. That's really the whole message of this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that I helped you guys, or at least some of you, learn about, a little something new about new comic book publishing companies. And hopefully I will see you guys next Friday. So smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, follow, give the Facebook some love. We're getting there. We're almost at 100 likes. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you next time, YouTube.